Chris, and this is my KC light restoration video. So we're going to have some footage of how they looked before, but these are 15-year-old lights that came on my Jeep when I got it, and I didn't want to throw them away and get new ones, so we just kind of cleaned them up the best we could, and they came out pretty nice. I just want you to know what the video is about. So this video is leading up to how to install these with the relay correctly. I'm trying to give you an idea about using the fog light switch or another switch instead of having to run one back to the dash with a little toggle on it. So all we're doing, we're going to look at these, we're going to look at the problem, we're going to take them apart, put them back together, upgrade the wires so that you understand what's in this. Let's get started. So on the Jeep we have these old KC long range lights. We're going to take these off first and we're going to restore these 100%. When I got the Jeep, I noticed that the two wires going to the long range lights were cut down here. And the other side is the same way. Now I assumed that they were wired into the existing fog lights, but this Jeep doesn't have any fog lights because they changed the front bumpers. So the other side is cut as well, but we have a little bit different situation over here. We have some kind of plug hanging out. So I had to Google some pictures of the Rubicon, and they do have some with fog lights right there and right there on the factory bumper. So then I assumed that that plug would hopefully be for the fog lights. So on the Jeep, we turn the headlights on, and then you pull this out, and the fog lights are on. Okay, so since this was cut like this, there's no way in the world I'm gonna test it out by hooking these back up. So I did get a test light. The fog lights are on in the dash. Let's see if we got power to this wire, and if we do, that's gonna be awesome. So let's touch it and see if we got power, and we do. So that means that this wire is for factory fog lights. So I'll come back in here and turn them off, and now the wire has no power. So the point I'm trying to make is that if you have a switch already on your vehicle for something like factory fog lights, which I have never seen the point in them, I live in Houston, Texas, you might want to go ahead and use that switch to go ahead and power some auxiliary lights or a light bar instead of drilling into your dash like everybody just loves to do. I am 100% against drilling into a dash of a vehicle anywhere. If you absolutely have to, do it down there at the bottom where nobody will ever see it. If you're going to put one in the area like that. You're going to have a little toggle switch that we're going to run to a relay. So let's get those lights off. So all we're doing is taking those lights completely off and putting them in that box. So they're just taped to the winch cables. Okay. One zip tie. So the other side's just hanging. So they got the ground to the winch tied right here for some reason. That's why you gotta take this stuff apart. Look at that right there. That's a ground for our winch controller. Tripod's broken, so I gotta hold the phone. Okay, so the light's just attached with a 3/4 inch nut. Let's get them off. So is this wire in there right or wrong? Okay, it's got a ring terminal on there, but still weird. So maybe this came with the kit, I don't know. So I've never taken off these types of lights. God dang it. All right. Okay, so I always put stuff back together exactly the way it came off. So they're both off. Let's get them cleaned up. So is it just me, or does the Jeep look like it has a sad face now? So we got the passenger light right here. Let's take this thing apart and see what it's all about. Remember the big round ring terminal that looked weird? It's attached here on both of these lights. Now, it really doesn't make any sense. We need to investigate what's going on right here. So we just cut that off. Never trust anybody's wiring that is cut off from the vehicle. Okay, these are gonna have to be sandblasted. They're aluminum. Must scrub these real good. They're rubber. We're gonna have to polish this up. So nut, lock washer. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this retaining ring with these two little Phillips screws. It's got a little nut right here. You might have to hold it. So the two retaining rings are separate. For some reason, I thought it was just one. So they're the same. Okay, so it just has a seal. We gotta figure out how to get this off. So we're gonna pry on it a little bit, but down here where you can't see it. See what the heck is going on. All right. It just has this little lip on it. Oh, there you go. Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull these wires out. So this was stuck in there, that's not right. Let's get that out. These little grommets should actually be fitting right there. So these things that go in the lights are stainless. Let's get this seal off. Okay. Okay, so this one was getting water inside. This is a compression type gasket, so maybe it could have just been tightened down. It's still in good shape. It's got some little cracks, but that's not going to allow water to get inside of it. Okay, so the thing I'm noticing that these wires are real small. They feel like 16 gauge wires. So we're probably going to upgrade the wires. Let's go ahead and get them off. Just be careful. All right, let's take a look at this. So does this come out or is this fixed? Ooh, okay. So I don't know anything about lighting, but I guess that bulb could be upgraded. That's what it is. Okay, now this is glass and high quality stuff. This thing is stripped down bare, that's all it is. It's got a little pivot stud on there, riveted, so you can't access it or take it off. The chrome still looks fine on here. So I just wanted to take them apart to really understand what they're all about. And I'm satisfied with them. We're going to be able to use these 100%. So now I'm going to go get these things cleaned up and we're going to get them put back together. So this is the worst of the two. It had the little water standing on the bottom. Didn't really damage anything on the outside. So as we put it back together, I'm going to talk about what I did to get it cleaned or restored. So all I did was I took WD-40 and fine steel wool and just polished this until all the rust was off. Had to get down in there, wire brush that. That's all I did. This one had the water in the bottom. It did leave some damage right there. I'm just going to spray some WD-40 on it and leave it alone. So it does use these little H3 halogen bulbs. You can buy them for $7 at the auto parts store. I like how it has this removable piece that we could possibly modify different lights into it in the future once I learn a little bit more about lighting. So this bulb was the one that had the rust in the bottom. Now it did eat the chrome off. I had to pull this apart. It was kind of difficult to do. And I had to reset it with this. If you're going to have to do something like that, this is great stuff because it's flowable. I set one bead, put the glass on it, and then I set another bead and it runs in there real nice and completely seals it off. So you see the damage that was done. Now these are $30 new. I'm just going to wait till I find one on eBay. That's $30 just for this piece right here. But we're just going to put this back in here. Okay. Just make sure it doesn't vibrate. So the bulb can only go in there one way. It's got this little retaining ring. Okay, and that bulb is in there 100%. We'll see what we really notice when it's on the Jeep. So this rubber gasket was cleaned with Comet bleach soap and a nylon bristle brush. That's all I did, just scrubbed it real good. So this one does have a little alignment tab. I guess I ripped it off. It goes right there. Try to line it up. So it's got a little groove. We're just going to fit this rubber seal over it. So we got the gasket on there, but before that we need to get the wiring ready. Okay, so you want to put the little rubber grommet in the light first and use like a screwdriver to fit it in there. Okay, so this will go in there. You might need some soap and water. See how we got it in there just a little bit. So the wiring in the lights is 16 gauge, and to me that's just a little on the light side. I'm sure it works if it comes with them, but we're going to upgrade these wires. So I'm going to upgrade the power wire to number 12 and the grounds to number 14. So see the factory 16 gauge wires, and then the 12 I'm going to add for the power and the 14 for the ground. And they're just a little bit bigger and beefier in case we want to get creative one day and try to change that light up for some reason. So then just cut them to length and fish them through the little conduit piece. So since these are going to be in this little sealed area and not exposed to moisture, we can get away with just crimping ends on these two wires. Let's do that. Attach them back to the bulb real good. Right. The seal has that little notch. The bulb has this little bump. Just line it up when you put it back in. It's real easy. Okay. Then also check top to top, because once that bulb's in there, you can't really move it around. All right, so it's in there. Everything looks good. All right, so it's got the two retaining rings. We're going to put them back on. just like a piston ring, if you ever done that. Stretch it over. So just pay attention to these, because if you had to change this on the vehicle, you want it where you could access it. We're putting the flat side right here of that little nut. Okay, don't tighten it yet. Okay, snug them up a little bit. Now, inspect this, look around it, make sure it feels like it's supposed to feel before you tighten it down. We're going to tighten these extra tight because these were leaking before. You can see that gasket's kind of bad right there. Is that under that 22, 23-year warranty? We're just going to tighten them up until they feel tight. I just clean that up with a wire brush. So in pictures, I see that these are chrome. These were painted black. I don't know if they came like that. This is an older design, but these were not chrome. So this piece did have some kind of bad rust on it right there. Got rid of it. It's just a little swivel thing for it. So these are just scrub with bleach soap. That's all I did to them. Okay, so little cups for these little shocks. So it was missing a lock washer. That's fine. There you go. I'm not going to throw these away yet. I may end up drilling these into the winch control box. I'm not 100% sure yet, so I'm not going to throw these away yet. So whenever you restore something like this that had rust all over it, after you wash your car, let these things dry, and you got to go around them and spray them with WD-40, or they will just start rusting right where they were. To do that, spray a whole bunch of this stuff on there. Do not be scared. This also polishes it. Because if that rust comes back, we're going to have to take them all apart and do this all over again, and I don't want to do that. So it does have that place where the chrome came off, but when you restore stuff, you're usually going to have one little thing that you don't get perfect. But for $30, if it bothers us that much, we can fix it. The point of restoring stuff like that is that these lights cost anywhere from $169 to $189, depending on which kit you get. One kit is a DIY wiring kit. I don't think it comes with anything more than this. And then they have one kit they sell with a plug-and-play relay. You know, so if you were to swap me and you saw these lights right there, even if these were $100, they'd still be worth it. So what was weird about these lights is you don't see them cheap on eBay. I was thinking I was going to be able to get one of these for $40 and have some parts and get me a new light bulb in there, but no, they still want $90 a piece. That's how much they cost brand new. Of course, the one with the good bulb looks really nice. So then I went out and got these. Now these are $12 or $13 a piece. They're supposed to come in the set. And I guess that's going to work out great because we can cover up that ugly light right there. Let's put them on there and see what they look like. So putting those covers on there, I mean, these things really look fancy now. And I hope that yellow matches my Jeep. So I have a video coming up on how to wire these up 100% with the relay from scratch. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.